I just returned from Mary and Edna's house, the old white frame house with the wraparound porch that their father built a long, long time ago on the street bearing their family name. Mary turned 94 recently, just a few weeks after Edna had turned 97. From time to time I drop by on them just to say hello. I confess that my short visits are almost entirely self-serving, in much the same way as the little boy who gives his mother a football for her birthday. But Mary and Edna always seem pleased to open the door of their little sunroom and to stand up as a gesture of welcome for me. There's a predictable and yet wonderful sameness to my visits with these two sisters. I'll give them fresh-cut flowers, and they will look totally surprised, as though they've never seen fresh-cut flowers before. They will act amazed and overwhelmed and grateful, only they're not acting. They will take turns holding or looking at the flowers, and then one will say, "These are the most lovely things I have ever seen." And the other always agrees. But the best part is this: they always really mean it. Well, we'll sit down and I'll ask them how they're doing, and they will always tell me, "Well, yesterday we had kind of a rough day, but today we're just fine." And if I asked them that same question tomorrow or the next day, they'd say exactly the same thing. No complaints, no long litany of how their old bodies ache or act up, no recitation of what turns their health has taken for the worse. They would simply say, "Well, yesterday we had kind of a rough day, but today we're just fine." That's the way they are, thankful and southern and godly at its dignified best. And then they'll ask me what I've been doing, and they'll focus their eyes on me, the same eyes that have lived through and seen World War I and the Depression and D-Day and Glenn Miller and JFK and desegregation and the Internet. And with those beautiful, still sparkling eyes, they will listen with rapt attention to my answer, as though mine is the defining story of the whole millennium. They will be spellbound. Not just this time, but every time, for every visitor, it seems, because they are still infected with the germ of wonder. Life is still interesting to Mary and Edna. When I leave their house, I'm always the better for having stopped by, and I'll want to actually be as wonderful a person as they pretend I am. Only, to them, it's not pretend. If I ever have a daughter, I'm going to teach her as early in her life as I can how to play Scrabble. That way she can join Mary and Edna daily for their favorite game, and she can hear their stories and learn from them how to listen well and how to recognize the wonder of small things. There are those who suggest that we go back to the mythical good old days. I don't. I am all too aware that one man's good old days is oftentimes another man's nightmare. That said, though, I can't help but compare these two heroes of mine to so many of the gods and goddesses of today's pop culture. And I find myself hoping that somewhere in the current parade of rap artists and shamelessly narcissistic pop divas, there will always be good souls like Mary and Edna to live quiet, beautiful lives filled with little, nameless, unremembered acts of kindness and love. As far as I'm concerned, there's more beauty found in that old white frame house with the wraparound porch than in all the mansions of Hollywood. Mary and Edna's is a beauty well worth imitating, and if I ever have a daughter, I hope they will still be here to teach her what it looks like.
I see all the posters that cover the walls of this girl who is not quite a teen. They are slick, glossy pictures of fortune and fame that every young kid wants to be. The fiction they sell can be easy to believe, and the truth can be very unclear. I hope she will see through the paper charade. Don't grow up to be Britney Spears. She gyrates and spins, she's a billboard of skin. It's image that counts in this world. She's sexy and thin, the desire of the men, and the torture of overweight girls. She might be quite nice when she's out of the light, somewhere underneath the veneer. She's someone's magnificent money machine. Don't grow up to be Britney Spears. Her four-letter words and provocative clothes might somehow seem harmless and cute, but it seems that the test for what's proper and best is whether it brings in the loot. But some little girl's gonna go where she leads, gonna believe every word that she hears. Be careful when choosing your heroes in life. Don't grow up to be Britney Spears. Where is her mother and where is her dad? Who's keeping her heart from the cold? The ones who surround her are doing her bad, driven by hunger for gold. La 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 la. Britney, if somehow you're listening in, don't think that I'm harsh or unkind. I'm simply expressing the things I would say if you were a daughter of mine. I'd sit down and tell you with a love that is real, in hopes I might save you some tears. There's something much better than fortune and fame. You don't have to be that Britney Spears. Don't grow up to be Britney Spears. La 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 la. Oops, she did it again.